Only live on Patreon, world of YouTube, will you find that Ronny Watts holds the key to his son's bad deeds. Holds the key, huh? Alright. I'm gonna lay it on the line straight. And I'm gonna put this down, the hammer down. I know if one of my kids ever did some cruel, sinister, sick, demented bullshit towards their wife and kids, it doesn't matter how badly this woman treated them or, how badly their relationship was, or even how much rotten their little kids were. Because, my kids right now are being rotten. Because today's generation is rotten. My kids claim they won't have kids. Only time will tell and, proceed that process. But if they do, and if they ever done something like this, instead of just get up, walk away, be a man, and step aside and let nature take its toll, I would not feel no remorse if they did what this guy did to his kids. Feel no remorse. I wouldn't, they're talking about how this guy has just found God in jail. How about he had found God out of jail and not do the deeds of Satan? That's what Catholics believe, right? That's what everybody believes when they believe in God. Forgive me, God, for my sins. But if you're doing sins that are worse than the average sin, which, alright, to me, cheating, doing the humble mambo without wedlock, having children without wedlock, them are the sins that I could see God forgiving. But to take a life, innocent life, especially little children that are very, very fragile, don't know the meaning of the word life until life is, hits them later on. And they start to get it right at a young age, adult, taught properly. This guy, man, can't even look at him. This goes on to say, facts you need to know. And of course, now this is, brings me back to this woman that I sat there and with my own eyes, speaking to my parents, telling my parents, and I heard it with my own ears that this mother believed her son didn't do nothing. He didn't get in bed with a hooker, probably got, and for the stuff he done to this woman, whether she's a prostitute or not, probably some low self-esteem stuff, got, being on drugs and not probably performing right in the bed and probably getting a giggle and a laugh at, whatever the case may be. Or the person took the drugs and stole money, stole whatever happens in these dirty little secretive places that people bring themselves to. To me, it's the end of the world, man. When you get down that low, you might as well give up life. When you got a wife and kids, and you murder them, or you even think of murdering them, it's the end of the road for you. You must die. You must go somewhere. To me, like I always say, vigilantes take justice in their own hands in this massive murder of disgustation. But this mother claims that, and I got the story. I don't know how much true the story is from my brother, but supposedly, and don't get me wrong, this guy, if he would have got the proper help, he would have been fine. He got beaten up when he was probably in his mid-30s. I do feel sorry for him for this. Caused some brain damage. Got jumped on some railroad tracks. But due to the fact that he wanted to keep taking drugs, take the wrong path, didn't want to get no help, it turned him into a worse person. Especially when he owed me money, whenever I was grateful enough to let him live with me, because, after I heard that story, yeah, man, it was just, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, this guy I have known since a freaking kid. But there's no excuse for what he did. And supposedly he cut some woman's chest off. If you can just put that into imagination. I'm not getting into details, but what I heard is like, what the wouldn't never expect. The guy was a nice, he would get mad at things or whatnot, but I never seen him be anything more than just an average person that would get pissed off. Nothing more to go off and full plunging a friggin' woman, let alone just his mind, yeah, with the drugs involved and the newer drugs that started coming along during the early 90s, early 2000s. It's like, whoa, I would have never expected this guy to ever do something like that. But they're out there. He's out there, just like this scumbag. And of course, the mother. And when I got into this story and read the title of The Key is Held by His Father. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, what? What is the key that he holds? Because his father in this article says, just be honest, son. Make sure you tell the truth. Now, if this Chris Watts had any dignity left, which he did, told the truth. He's telling his mother in this article not to listen to people's comments, which I'm sure they're all nasty, but who cares? Because anybody that endures the pain, and I don't care what the Shanann parents ever did. Yeah, but I did screenshot some comments, but I ain't gonna show them. But I will explain that they were about, they just want money. They get donations and spend it. Pointless, stupid stuff. You know what? If you got, I don't know. I'm getting it hard to believe that the parents, I mean, don't get me wrong, they probably could have had some, bad life when they did, but the daughter looks very preppy. I want to say, she didn't remind me of nobody that could be of any nature of using any type of heavy drugs, or the parents, you just by the nature of someone I could tell. I mean, yeah, I guess she was a smoker. I don't know if that patch was for smoking that she was doing or losing weight or whatever the case may be, but all I can say is that she didn't remind me of someone that was in the lower parts of life. Especially this guy, if they got their own house, they got jobs, or he's got a good job, and, they got the daughters, the nice place. Don't get me wrong, they had a nice freaking house. But looks can be deceiving all the time. You don't know who a person is until you push that button, until you get into the mind of sickness. So it leaves me to say, what was their life like? They're talking about God and they're talking about this. He's found God in jail, but guess what? Sometimes, and this is why I have a little struggle with the beliefs of Jesus Christ in God. That's why I stick to my native blood and pray to the spirits of the past, of the Native Americans. Because and you see it all the time, you hear about it, but if God is so great and God is so good, why did the people that prayed to him a lot of times come out to be that real big huge mass of evil? Did they get this stuff crammed down their throat so long that they've had enough of it and heard and taught about evil and what it can do, and then all of a sudden I want to try that. I want to see what taste of evil is. And if that's the case with this wad, Chris Ward, let's call him Chris Ward. Wad of spit, wad of shit, a wad of goo, slime falling down the walls. You know what? Me and my wife's had issues. But there would never be a day, never in my life would I. And we've had some bad arguments, bad fights, bad. Our stuff wasn't always easy. But I've got through it. And there was not a day I'd go by and even want to imagine of killing my wife and kids because they're in the way. It just, oh man. And they were devastated of their kid. Yeah, sure. If my kid intentionally did something like this and confessed, I would cease him from existence in my mind. Because there's other ways of getting out of a relationship, and it's not brutally murdering. And goes on, Chris has to speak to his dad, and this is where he says, encourage Chris to be honest about what happened. Now, for that to be said, and he found God in jail, well, then that's only proof right there. The key does lie. The man listened to his daddy and told the truth. Behold the truth. And I believe that's what he did. Whatever little scumbag he was. His mother once had concern that he hadn't committed the crimes, but he confessed that he had. Of course, he didn't do it. Everybody that knows him, never seen that side. Of course no one's gonna know a side you ain't never seen. See, that's the thing with things, it's predictable. It's predictable. You can't predict nothing. You can't say, this is a normal person, and when he snaps, you get that from everybody. Oh, never knew. Well, no, you don't know, dummy. Because that's a side that just happens to emerge. And when you get back, well, I don't know, maybe I can say Shanann was kind of the one that pushed him to this. Because maybe, and I'm not saying it's true, and I'm not sticking up for Chris Watts, but maybe, just maybe, she did get a little bit, pushy. A little bit, oh, I'm going to do this to you, and I'm going to do that. Yeah, maybe. And if that was the case, maybe. And she opened up that door in his mind, and I'm going to kill you. But, a bit of rage in words that get thrown in your face. I've had some nasty ones thrown into me in my relationship. It's just words. And if you're not strong enough to deal with them words, then you're not strong enough to deal with life. If you're not man enough to step up out that goddamn door and say, screw you, woman, I've had enough, you're not man enough. You don't belong on this earth. That's the way I run my books. I don't go by the book of God. I go by the book of Arch. And I've seen too many women battered in my life. Not even by me is right. I'm the one that said to myself long ago, when I first watched a woman get beat, and I was too young to do anything but just sit there and watch in horror as this woman got pounded up against the wall. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm 5, 6 years old, like baffled, speechless, couldn't even think what is happening. And I'm sitting there watching this, and I ran to my room, slammed the door, and being traumatized. Oh my God. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I don't ever want to do that. Why would someone want to do this? And the history of that person, I'm gonna say no names right now, but I can understand why, because of the history of the person. When I got older, I learned. When I got older, I knew what was happening then, and I figured out, and I started looking up stuff or reading stuff, better let alone watching it. And I've seen too many women, because of relationship stuff, get beat for no reason. Get just attacked for no reason. Or they did do something, run their mouth, say things they shouldn't have, but in the heat of the moment. And I still got to do my video on the love triangle. Yeah, that's right. My thoughts and theories on love and how it should be. Notice how everything revolves around triangles. Excuse me. It's just weird, insane, but going on with this, after seeing her strangled the children. Oh, yeah, after he's seeing her, he strangled the kids. Now, don't you think after you see that you just killed someone, you be fucking shitting bricks? Oh, what did I just do? Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, the motive and the connection of evil just sits there. Now I'm gonna go kill my kids. Urgh. They all must die. Then I'm gonna have a life. He must have just kept thinking, I'm gonna have a life with this new woman. Nothing's gonna be known. The stupidity of someone. No, I'm not trying to bust balls. Some murderers, some serial killers were intelligent. Some of them, they say, were, masterminds of things. But you know what? I call them all stupid. The ones that are not stupid are the ones that don't get caught. Because they do mastermind their plans. But the ones that do get caught are the dummies, thinking they won't get caught. But they're all stupid in general, because anybody that wants to kill somebody is just plain up stupid. Mentally challenged is right in the wrong, worst way. And it does go beyond the parts of how they were brought up, too. I've learned that a lot, too, in my researches, that a lot of times it's the parents and how they bring up. And I would like to, I don't even know if they even would have something yet on Chris Watts' parents and how he was brought up. But I can bet you any kind of money that I'd find some default in that family. Because all this crap here, they told Chris in court they forgave him. They said tell the truth. They're making themselves look good. And the Bible says, I'm sorry, when you got a murder like this, and whenever every time someone tries to throw in the Bible, I don't fall for that. Struggling to comprehend what happened. Who wouldn't struggle? Cindy said that Chris wrote her a birthday, and that's where he tells her to stop. Don't listen to people's crap. I think that's it. Yeah, just don't listen to what people say. Their words should be like the wind that comes and then it passes away. Oh, you little bastard. Excuse me a moment. The fuck are you, cocksucker? Get out, mother. Pause a minute. So I got a little time-lapsed. I had to stop the video, but anyways, all in all in this case, and just to think of people just carrying on like, you know, this person is the victim. To me, anybody that makes an act of killing, which I forgot where I left off, I should have written it down, but I said stuff just happens and I can't finish, but stuff like this is just beyond recognition, beyond trying to make right. This guy admitted it, took a plea bargain, whatever the case may be. If he did have an accomplice, why didn't he rat him out? No, he takes a plea bargain and puts it all on himself, which I believe and honestly believe there's no shed of light that this man's father can friggin' do and help his son. He told him that tell the truth, and I believe honestly Chris Watts told the truth. Just the right. Tell the truth and you won't get the death penalty. That's the whole scenario to this case. But for people to stick up for him like he did nothing, that he was driven to madness or he was possessed or he was hypnotized or he... Jesus Christ, there's no excuse for this man. This man did a heinous crime. This man needs to rot his ass in jail. I believe vigilante justice should take care of him. And I believe that no one should ever, ever endure something this severe and have to live with that for the rest of their lives. Whatever the case may be. And for their parents to look and recognize him and forgive him because, oh, you saved your soul to God and all this. You know what? If God's hammer was all dependent on good, in my eyes, evil should never have existed. I don't care what anybody says. Evil shouldn't have existed if God and Jesus is so good. Forgive you for your sins. I could see petty thin sins, but this kind of sin, no. And for Jesus Christ to get beaten, whipped, carried across to his death, his demise, and still forgive. That ain't me. You beat, whip me, gonna put me somewhere because of what he did? Even Christ didn't, in my eyes, didn't deserve to be whipped and carried across to his death. And that's what the story is, right? There's no one, and for whatever he done, why didn't he get forgiven for his sins the right way? This guy ain't getting beaten, tortured to the cross, which he should. That's what should happen to him, not Christ. And that's what confuses, that's what makes my mind twisted about the whole God theory. Other than that, people, be safe, take care, always beware. And if you're in a relationship and you're not satisfied, get the F out. Who cares what someone's gonna do to you? Who cares if you're gonna pay child support? You know what, buddy? You weren't thinking of that when you stuck it in. Why should you think of that now? And then at that, you're gonna stick another woman. Could get her pregnant and do it all over again. How stupid is that? My thoughts and theories, there's only supposed to be one man, one woman, kids, their life, grow old, die together. That's it. That's how the world should be today. And if you're unsatisfied with your damn relationship, then you leave. It's all you can do. And you deal with the sorrow that comes along with it. You don't dispose of that life. You just get up, you walk out, and you be an effing man. That's it. Pay your dues and keep your mouth shut. That's it. No, other than that, you want to sit your ass in jail for the rest of your life? You're sick. You got issues. There's nothing in life for you here. Out.